Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars Tantive 4. This set came out in 2019. Set number is 75244. Comes with 1,768 pieces, and it came out with the regional retail price of $200, which surprisingly, you can actually still get this set on Bricklink for pretty close to that price, if not a little bit more, or brand new in box. Speaking of box, unfortunately I don't have the box for this thing anymore. That got trashed a little while, but I do have the instruction book, which you can still see the gorgeous looking box art on the instruction book. It looks absolutely fantastic. The ship looks it's very well done. Nice action scene over Tatooine, much like you see in New Hope. And one thing they did special with this one is that they kind of did a little introduction for this instruction manual, kind of like what they did do for the open collector's sets, even classics, facts, and specifications of the ship that you usually get on the plaque. So you can just go through the instruction manual, find some interesting things out. Speaking of interesting things, one of the more interesting things I found out while going through this thing was that when they were originally working on this set, they actually considered adding in the Bail Organa figure the Revenge of the Sith version. But considering this came out not long after Rogue One, and this set is obviously based off of New Hope, they went with the Rogue One look instead, which I honestly think was the right call. Here's what the back of the instruction manual looks like that little sigil there. There isn't a set list page in this one, but that's your instruction book, and as you can see, it's quite thick. So before we look into the ship itself, we're going to take a look at the figures. So starting off with the figures, with the ones I find least interesting to the most, we have R2-D2. Trivia here. R2 is the figure that appears in the most LEGO Star Wars sets. A lot of times with R2, you see one, you've seen them all. They did change it up a bit with the trash compactor diorama, with actually giving him some back printing on the main body, but this one not so much. However, gonna look at this one. One thing you might notice with the R2 figures is that a lot of times they can never really get that blue line that goes all the way around his head to be all that straight. However, this one not so bad. So yeah, he's R2. What you see is what you get. Alright, next up we have C-3PO. Again, a lot of times with 3PO, what you see is what you get, but this one does have some good printing. Actually, I think this is the first one I ever had where they actually had the eyes painted, so you actually get the little dots for 3PO's eyes. It's also the first one that I ever had that had at least a little hint of the silver leg that he has in New Hope. Certainly not as much as what you get in the UCS Luke's Landspeeder, but it is more than what I was usually used to. Still, a lot of good print on here. I love the coloring of the loose wire. And the coloring of the loose wires, the little chest emblem right there in the middle. I don't really know what that's supposed to be. Yeah, but it's there. It looks good. And plus the little attachments right there at his neck. And here's what it looks like on the back. Again, good print. Again, good printing. More colored wires. All in all, when it comes to C-3PO, this one's not half bad. Alright, next up we have Princess Leia. Again, well, like a lot of them, you get Leia, you know what you're into. Although this one is a good, again, this is a good looking one. Love the all the details in her hair, like that little smirk on her face. One thing I've note is that all the weapons, they aren't like a gunmetal gray. They're actually more of a metallic silver, which actually is really nice. It really stands out with the weapons in this set. Most of them nowadays you get they're your regular gunmetal gray. So with them being more of a metallic silver, it really makes them stand out. Oh, like the little metallic shine that you got there on her belt. Here's what her back print looks like. More of the metallic shine on the belt, and the little hint of the hood that she wears in the movie. And here's what her secondary face looks like, a much more battle-ready face. And my note, she actually comes with a skirt element. Pretty sure this was actually the first one I got of that piece as well. Nice little nice little details in the folds in the dress. It's both front and back. No side printing or arm printing on her, but a good looking figure all around. And here is a figure I'm sure most people would love to get quite a bit more of a hold of. This is the Rebel Fleet Trooper, and yeah, actually looks really good. No leg or arm printing on this guy, but the prints are on are good. I love all the pocket. It's on the torso, the little belt buckle, another metallic silver blaster, and nice looking chin straps right there on his face. On the face, and which line up really good with that good looking Rebel Fleet Trooper helmet. Some decent, plus some decent printing on his back, and here is what his alternate face looks like, a much more battle-ready face. This guy's ready to go. Although, admittedly, this guy might not be so ready to go for battle if he knew he was going to get absolutely slaughtered by Vader. Speaking of slaughtered by Vader, our next figure, one of my personal favorites of this one, is Captain Ramus Antilles. Even more good-looking torso print end on here, especially that small but very well done Rebel Captain insignia there, plus a little more of the metallic shine from Leia's belt on it. Another metallic silver blaster for him, another good looking helmet, and you can see his face is, I guess you could call it a bit more worn down than the Rebel Troop, the Fleet Trooper face, but the face I really love is this one. That definitely screams to me that face is the face he's supposed to be wearing while Vader is choking him to death. All in all, a very good figure, and a very difficult figure to get a hold of, since, well, the Tantive 4 is the only place we see him, so this is only the second Captain Antilles figure they made, and again, he looks great. And for our final and my personal favorite figure, we have Senator Darth Organa in his first and still so far only appearance as a Lego minifigure. This figure looks absolutely fantastic, very much like the Rogue One look. While I certainly would enjoy getting a Clone Wars era Organa and his blue, I gotta say, the green was definitely the right way to go. I think my favorite detail on there is that little symbol he's got there on his belt buckle. I'd love to know how they got that on there. He's got another metallic silver weapon, this time in the Han Solo style pistol. Good facial print, and he's got the hard, definitely fabric cape, and you're gonna lift that up. You can see there is a little bit of a print on there. Probably aren't gonna see much since she's mainly gonna wear the cape, but it's nice to put that on there a little bit. A good choice for the hair. Would love that they could have gotten like just a little bit of gray in there, cause he is getting up to hair and age once he gets to Rogue One, even if he is just about to die. But I think what they have here works, and they did provide him with a much more serious facial expression. All in all, a wonderfully done figure, especially for his very first appearance. Alright, with the minifigures out of the way, it's time to take a look at the ship, which we will do from stem to stern. First off, you will notice that the front cockpit area, this thing is covered in stickers. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 2 up top, and then 2 more on the bottom. However, this thing looks, once you get them on, you get them right, which fortunately I managed to do because I'm usually terrible at stickers. This thing looks fantastic. I love all the details. Like you got the cockpit windows, all the open spaces, and it just looks fantastic. So first off, these top cones can be removed for you to put your figures in. Let's go ahead, pop in Captain Antilles in there. No studs. Just one of the one. I honestly don't know what these pieces are, but just a little bit to just slide your figures in with the feet, and there you go. They are in. Oh, they are in, and well, with no studs, they're gonna be easy to take out. Got a couple of printed tile pieces that there for a couple control panels on both sides, and they just clip on like that. This doesn't need to do with one hand. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Oh, it's got control panels, and you can just put the cone pieces back on. Only held on by two make that 4 studs. 2 up, 1 here, and 1 in the back. Makes it easy to remove, but easy to remain on. And there you go, all closed up, and it's ready to go. One thing you might have noticed, like front, we got a couple of spring-loaded shooters underneath, and that is controlled by right down there. You got a little, got a little plunger, a couple of Technic bars. Here's it right in the back there. Let me set this up real quick. There we go. There we go. This thing is top heavy. A bit of an awkward angle, but I think it'll work. So basically, all you do, you got a couple of Technic pins. Just push, and there you go. They'll go crazy. And you can see that those 2 stickers on the bottom, they go all the way around just like the others. Take a look at the bottom. Now, for the back on the bottom, you got one of the laser turrets. And a little farther back, you'll notice that these are where the escape pods that R2 and 3 will actually launch from. Flip it back up top, and you'll notice another laser turret, this time with stud shooters. Whoop. And you'll notice another laser turret, this time with stud shooters. You all know how these guys work. Get the back. There you go. Oh, and that's how they work. And this one actually ratcheted. So gets a little stuck, but you got yourself a good range of motion. And the barrels are able to move all by themselves. Oh, that a little further back. Love the all the little greebling in here on. Oops. Love all the little greebling here on the front and sides, all on the sides. Got a couple of smaller turrets on the back that can rotate a full 60 degrees. Means more greebling up top, and if you pull this up, you got yourself a little meeting area, much like what you see in Revenge of the Sith. You don't really see a whole lot of the Tantive 4 interior other than the hallways, so they actually, so much like with the original Tantive 4 set, they did their interior based off of Revenge of the Sith. So you got yourself a couple of chairs over by the table. You can just pop your mini figures in there, and they can have a little meeting. And you may notice there are a couple clips over here on the side wall. That is supposed to be a weapons rack. So you can just, there we go, just pop your weapons in there, and you're good to go. Plus, you got yourself a little holographic table there in the corner. A couple of computer panels here. These are stickers. So, nothing too crazy, but it looks good nonetheless. All right, next up we have over here. We're with the over here with the fins, which actually are part of this ship. So good there. We'll pull this area up and get loose. There you go, and you got yourself a storage area for two more stud shooters for the front. Next up, we have ourselves our antenna. It's got a good range of motion, not as good as the actual ship. It's able to do a full 360 degrees, but that is full. But there is a good reason for that, because this antenna actually functions as a handle for your ships, and that's an easy way to lift it. You will notice it's a bit back heavy because of all the engines in the back, but it works just fine. And right beneath that, you have yourselves detachable escape. Detachable escape pods. Can just lift up back, attached by those two studs here, and this is big enough to fit both R2 and 3PO. Although you do have to do it in a very specific way. You see two studs right there front. That's where you put 3PO's feet. Attaches in there just fine. Pop in R2 right behind him. No studs for him. And you just pop the lid back on, and you're good to go. That's where your escape pod is attached. One Technic pin, one by to break with Technic rod. Not exactly a angle, but works. And the Technic pin and the actual Technic pin works to be able to makes it so it's a little bit easier to make these more detached. Lift it up underneath again, and you'll see that's where your lift goes. And actually this part is supposed to be there as well. Apparently, that is the elevator for everyone gets out. And then, of course, we've got your big 11 engine block which was probably the most repetitive part of the build. It changes up a little bit with the greebling and a few different pieces, but this is definitely where the majority of the weight of the ship goes. Although I gotta admit, they definitely got the ship lined up well. Well, they definitely got the engines lined up well, because I take a look at this thing, and yeah, that's basically how this thing's supposed to look. So that is basically everything that this ship and this set has to offer. And having wanted to get this set as soon as this thing came out, I gotta say I was not disappointed. This was a good 4 or 5 hour build, and I gotta admit that the final result is certainly worth it. This thing is gorgeous. This thing works well as both a large scale playset and a good display piece as well. Because this thing is just fantastic. If you guys can get a hold of this set, absolutely recommend it. This thing is fantastic. It's one of my favorite sets in my collection. And personally, if you guys get a hold of this, you're not going to be disappointed. So that is my review for this wonderful, wonderful set. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Click the video on the left to check out the video YouTube recommends specifically for you. Check out the video on the right to check out some more of my content. Click in the middle of the subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.